What's up? What's up? We're going live now.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? It's Dorian, aka the Rome Renegade, out here once again with my main man, Raph.
What's going on, guys? And how's everything? How's everything,
Hey,
Dorian?
hey, everything's going good, man. I mean, it's unfortunate that we're going to be speaking here with a heavy heart. We got a lot of crazy news and situations going down out here. World War III at the brink, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But since we're out here, coin cult, we've got to start it off right, speaking about some cryptocurrencies and what's going on in the crypto market. And I've got Raph here, who is the crypto guru. I honor you, my brother. And,
thank you, bro.
Yeah, and I'm definitely interested to hear what's going on this week in the cryptoverse and, what you got in store for us as far as the coins, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, Coin Cold over here, bringing you the latest and the greatest news of the cryptocurrency verse and much more things related about that verse. So let's take a quick look right now at the markets. Let me share my screen. There we go. So currently the markets, today's a green day. Today is April the 10th, right? Yeah, no, the 11th, April 11th.
Yeah, it's hard. Time's hard right now, man. It's hard to keep track of time.
Bro, we're so busy.
Time is speeding up. We're getting time warped as we speak. It's a wild thing.
It's wild. Things are changing. Now, it is a green day. Bitcoin is on almost $7,000. Ethereum went back up, significantly. It was in the lower 300s. Now it's back in 432. NEO as well has showed a increment of 13% in the past 7 days. So your solid picks are still going to be king. Bitcoin is still going to be king. Let nobody tell you different than that. Everything still circles around this big dog. It's not a currency, it's an asset. It's more of an asset than a currency. So keep that in mind. Ethereum's looking pretty good.
I'm seeing a lot of green. Seeing a lot of green on the table right now, which is good.
Yeah.
Last time we spoke, which was only a few days ago, everything was bleeding. Everything was hemorrhaging out. All that we saw was red across the chart all over the place. You know what I'm saying? We had mass amounts of people just diving out of the crypto markets and jumping back into the regular stock markets, or throwing their hands up all together because they have no idea what's going on in the crypto markets, and they get scared from the whales, and they get scared from and get spooked from any whisper of noise that's going on, that there could be any type of negativity in the crypto market, and they just rush out and have no idea what's going on. And then when they start seeing this green again, what do you know? They try to jump back in and try to jump back on this bandwagon.
That's right. And you can't stop this. It's going to be very difficult to stop it. It's a movement that's already happening, and a lot of the people who start selling in panic mode when Bitcoin's starting to go down, there's still a bunch of people that are still holding their coins, and good things are happening. For example, recently, not too long ago, Microsoft started accepting Bitcoin as you can now load Bitcoin in your Microsoft account. So if companies like Microsoft start opening their doors for crypto, it's gonna make things for the crypto people and the crypto economy to keep going up again to where it was. And it's just a matter of time,
For sure.
People don't understand really what's happening. They just think that Bitcoin is this digital currency that is like gold, and if you have it, cool, and then you can make a lot of money. That's part of it, but they don't really understand blockchain. They don't really understand how everything is connected and how this is just nature on its own, but on a digital world, which is
for sure. And it's a big deal.
It is.
It's a big deal when you have a company like Microsoft, tech giant, household name, worldwide household name, that is accepting Bitcoin. This adds validity to the crypto market. It adds validity, and also puts the buzz in people's ears that when they don't really know too much about the market, they don't really know too much about cryptocurrency, but then they hear, oh geez, Microsoft is now accepting it. It perks up the ear and has more people take a look at it because it becomes more mainstream.
That's right. It becomes more mainstream, and a lot of more people start jumping back into it. And it's just about a long run game. In short term, mid-term, long run, you can always benefit from this. But my advice to you guys is just whatever you invest is money you invest. So you don't have to rely on that. You cannot go into buying crypto with your mortgage money or with your rent money or with your salary if you depend on that. That's something irresponsible. You know, do your own research and invest according to your situation. But this type of investment is for you to keep it and let it grow and let it go and let it go through the cycles. It's going to be sometimes ups and downs, but it's just what it's supposed to do. The same thing happens with stocks. The same thing happens with commodities, pairs, everything. Everything is the same. So other than that, that's it for the crypto world. Green today.
Well, Raph, I had a
Yeah.
question for you before we jump off the crypto. You were mentioning in regards to the crypto market, you had mentioned something that had piqued my interest.
Yes.
And I am trying to rack my mind in regards to what you did say, and I did want to touch on that. And
Yeah.
you know what? The thought did just escape my mind. So if it comes back to my mind, I'm going to bring that back up. But it did involve the crypto market, and I thought that it would be something definitely important that I would think that some people would want to hear if they were interested in, you know, the type of stuff that we talk about. But before we also jump off the crypto topic as well, you know, there's many different ways to play the market. You know, there's many different ways to make money in the crypto market, not just on the short sale, you know, buy low, sell high, and off the daily trade. There's many different things. You know, there's the ICOs, the initial coin offerings, where, you know, you should take a look at if you're purchasing, you know, initial coins, or off the initial coin offering. Those are the ones that you're going to want to hold for quite some time, you know, and let them build up and do their thing. And that's especially if you do your research on a company and you realize that, hey, I really feel like this company is doing something that is going to take off and something that is going to be used here in the world and in the marketplace, and is something that is going to be valuable. You know, those are ones that you want to take a look at. And if you are purchasing these initial coin or these coins off initial coin offerings, those are ones that you're going to want to hold on to, let them vest, let them, you know, mature, and let them, you know, increase in value. Those are not the ones to, you know, you start seeing them go up and down, and people start talking that they may dip and everything like that, that you're just going to go ahead and throw those away. That's not smart at all. And that's not how you play the initial coin offerings. You know, so that's just one way of making money. You make money off of compounding, off of lending. You know, you can make money off the short sales as well. So there's many different types of ways to make money in the cryptoverse. So, you know, if anybody is interested in, you know, making money in regards to the cryptocurrency universe, you know, feel free, drop some comments below, holler at us. Raph is definitely a coin guru, and he's a great person to ask. And, you know, I'm out here, I observe what's going down, and I think in deep analytics and everything like that. And I try to, you know, add predictions in regards to what's going on as well. So, you know, leave some comments below. We would love to speak with any of y'all. If anyone wants to, you know, reach out to us, you know, feel free and do so.
That's right. And I remember now what was that that crossed your mind? It was about the exchange.
That's right.
Tokens.
Yeah, you got it.
And before we switch to topics, let's finish the crypto verse with two things. The first thing is that you touched on recently is the ICOs. The ICOs, unfortunately, last year, it was a year like the ICO. Everybody was starting their ICOs, and a lot of scams turned out to be bad for people, you know, and it definitely hurts the reputation in crypto. But towards this year, it's now much more, it's not the same to put an ICO out there than before. It's not only just, they had like this thing called the ICO package where they give you a white paper template and just images and graphics you can use and notes and things that you make it look legit, and then you put whatever it is and people start throwing you money at. That's the bad thing. But now there's more regulations, and people are becoming much more picky when it comes to detecting which ICOs are good. And on the last video, we explained about the symbolism and how you can ditch out the ones that are not right, because a lot of this evaluations come out of gut. It's a gut feeling that you have towards the symbol that impact your brain, and then you think, okay, now that I'm reading this, and based on that symbol, the technology and benefit that they're decentralizing with this ICO, I can definitely see this working in the future or for whatever purpose. it's been said, So ICOs now are going to become much more regulated, and always do your research. Make sure that you understand things before you put your money in, and invest safely in ICOs. And don't make the mistake of selling your ICO as soon as the ICO hits exchanges, because the process is like this. Our ICO starts, there's a pre-sale, right? Because you register earlier, and there's a public sale, and there's the KYC and all these things depending on where you're located. And then what happens is that you get your initial tokens at a very good price. They even give you a bonus, 100% bonus, depending on how early you get in.
That's what entices you to get in.
It entices you to buy even more, because you're gonna double and triple your value out of just one purchase. What you have to avoid doing is, of course, know when they're gonna hit the exchanges. A good ICO is going to keep you notified. That's why we always tell to check out the Telegram community of that ICO. Check out if they have any other social media. Check out if they have events. So you're always up to date with your investment. You have to be wise when it comes to investments. You can just throw the money in and leave it there. I mean, you can, but you need to understand what's happening, because a lot of the people, this is what they do. They just rush over into the calendar and they mark the date. They believe, or they said, the ICO is going to hit the exchanges. But there's a lot of people that think like this. So what's happening is, as soon as you hear that X coin ICO now is going to the exchanges and it goes to one exchange, there's going to be two things that are going to happen. Number one, everyone's going to try to sell out. Number two, by selling out, they're going to oversaturate the server, and you're not going to be able to participate in the market for selling. Number three, if everyone's starting to sell out, then it's going to drop the value. You're not going to make as much money as the people who sold it at the beginning. And it's just a timing thing. And it's not life. Maybe it's overseas and you have to be like at 4 a.m. in the morning, glued up to your computer to exchange. That's not the way to do it. You invested in an ICO because you believe in what it can do, not because you want to make a quick profit when it hits the exchanges. That's one of the things that a lot of people do. And that's why you see those dips in the market. Like when there's a new coin that comes out, let's see if I can pull it up here. For example, Electronium, there was a lot of buzz. They did a great job in marketing, but if you see right when they start at the market, it goes down because people start selling. Like, oh yeah, this is my ICO. I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna cash out.
Yeah,
that is natural. I mean, the ICO expect this already. It knows that it has to. It's like an earthquake, right? The earth open and it sucks it sucks through the ground all the people who just want to leave with the money, which is fine, because it actually doesn't help the company or the ICO or the project. It's just more volatility, price going up, price going down because people are selling in and buying more. But the real objective is to ride along the waves, and then, I don't know, 2-3 years down the road, see where your investment is at. And then if you want to get rid of it, exchange it. But at least let it leverage, let it have some time in the roller coaster. See what it does. See if it's a legit process or a legit project. Because if the predictions of the price of Bitcoin are real, what they're saying out there, people are saying like it's going to go back to 20K. People say that's going to go 50K. There's people saying that's going to go to 100K. There's people even say that's going to go to 1 million, conservatively speaking, to 1 million per Bitcoin. So imagine where your projects can be if you ride all the way up and you don't just panic sell or just try to make quick profits. Because if you want to make quick profits, there's other ways to make quick profits. I wouldn't do it with crypto. Crypto is more something that you have to believe in it, just hold it and see what happens, because in the next 3 years, we can confidently say, right, that 2020, major things are going to happen in this realm, and things are going to go crazy.
That's right. 100%.
That's right. And the other thing that I wanted to share was the exchanges, guys. The exchanges are definitely one of the easiest and most versatile and more convenient way to exchange your crypto assets. And something that I always recommend people to do is there's 4 major exchanges. I personally use Bittrex, Binance, Coinbase or GDAX, and there's other one called KuCoin that is fairly new, but it has I like KuCoin. There's some exclusive pairs that they have on KuCoin, and so far The server is great. I like how it is. I think they are located in Asia. I think they're from South Korea, if I'm not mistaken, but it's really good. But they allow you to buy into their own crypto, and this crypto has a meaning. For example, top in the top 20 cryptocurrencies we have on number 18 Binance Coin. And when you own Binance Coin, there's a couple things that are happening. Binance Coin is pretty interesting because when you exchange on Binance, you can either pay a fee with a fraction of the pair, if it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, to exchange in their market, or you can pay the fees using Binance Coin. But here's the cool thing about Binance Coin. Binance Coin is going to keep growing its value the more people start using it. And the more the people start using it means that the more customers and users the exchange has. So it's just something that, yeah.
Let me get this straight, just so that anyone who decides to listen to this can understand.
Yes.
What you're saying is that coin, the Binance coin, it increases in value the more that people start using that particular market to purchase and sell their coins.
That's
now,
right.
This is a pretty big deal because, as we know, this crypto market is still, to the majority, to the collective consciousness, is still brand new.
That's right.
This is something that most people have no clue. They still haven't figured it out yet. They still haven't processed the information yet in regards to what's happening with cryptocurrencies, what cryptocurrencies are, why they are gaining in value, or why they're even here. But as people continue to figure this out, find out, and start, putting their money into these markets, they're only going to grow. And Binance is one of the best ones.
That's
and
right.
You start holding coin in there, which right now it's $12.23 to hold, one Binance coin. This is something that can potentially blow up.
Let's take a look at the
Huge.
history. It used to go up to, let me see, what do we have? Right now is on 12, but I've seen this before the crash, like on 20 something, 25. I remember I bought some. So, and even more. And it's just going to keep going up, guys. It's directly tied up to the transactions that they do on the exchange. And the more people get to exchange due to Binance, the more transactions are going to be, the higher the values of this coin is going to be. And it's something interesting that I wanted to throw away. And also Binance coin, you have the other one, KuCoin. Let's see if I can find it here. KuCoin shares, number 53. This ones are $2.73 because KuCoin doesn't have the same volume as Binance, but they're pretty ambitious. They're going to get there. I know the Binance owner, they're expanding their servers. They're always upgrading because they want to meet the capacity and demand because they have a really solid platform. But KuCoin shares is not. KuCoin is not behind. They're increasing their game. They're very open to new ICOs. So a lot of the ICOs, most of them that I recently got involved with, they are accepting now, or you can trade them on KuCoin. It's the first exchange they hit. Sometimes they go to KuCoin because they have the doors open. So it gives them an advantage because the higher exchangers, they're just not going to allow you to accept you just right off the bat if you don't have a connection with the previous exchange. If you apply for another exchange as a crypto owner of whatever project, it's always good to have a relationship with others because there's already an established market for that particular coin. So a lot of the new ICOs, they go and knock the doors on KuCoin, and KuCoin says, "I like your project, come in," and it's gonna start. That's when the snowball effect starts come in. So KuCoin, I like KuCoin. I use KuCoin personally. You can buy KuCoin shares, $2 right now. It's been up. If we go and look before, I think, yeah, you see it's been up to $20 almost, and it's now down to $2. So, and this is not too long ago. So I'm expecting this to go back again to this capacity, and that's a 10x return on that if you buy it at $2. And not only that, that's good. That's going to help you to do your transactions over KuCoin. So keep an eye on those coins. They're interesting. They definitely have a meaning, and that's why they hold that type of value. And as time goes by, I don't see anything but these numbers go up, especially for those exchanges, because the exchanges are meant to do that. They're meant to exchange. And if they have something that they can back up on transactions and fees and making it into blockchain, there you go. That's a nice project to have on the side.
That's right. And those types of things, I mean, when you're dealing with a coin that is specifically for a market, it's kind of like a no-brainer, because people have to use these markets to buy and sell their coins.
That's right.
So the more that people are going to start jumping in, like I said, this is new stuff. And you got to think, this is kind of futuristic to a lot of people, but it's happening as we speak. So right now, you know, a lot of these companies, they haven't rolled out, you know, their products yet, or their services in regards to what they're doing, because right now the framework is being built. And, you know, they're all projecting their dates to be 2020. So here within the next 2 years, we're going to be seeing a lot of this framework and infrastructure is going to start coming to fruition. And as that starts happening, more people are going to start investing their money into these businesses and these companies as well. And that's only going to drive those markets up even further.
That's right. That's right. And even stronger than before.
100%. It's a wild time that we're living in. Wild time. So, Raph, the crypto coin guru, thank you very much for providing that information. Solid information. If any of y'all caught any of that information, it's dope. You know, not too many people will even take the time to break down some of this type of information. So, Raph, I definitely thank you in regards to sharing that information.
Absolutely, guys. Coin Cult for you guys over here, bringing you the real info.
That's right, man. So what's going on in the world, the Facebook world, and Mark Zuckerberg? What's happening out here?
Man, it's been on the news. It's been crazy. You can see Mark Zuckerberg at court, you know, having a hearing. He's giving his testimony. He accepts the responsibility. But when I was watching the video, I see some weird behavior. You know, there's some stuff going on that specific.
What's your take? Because I want to hear your take on what's going on, and then I want to let you know my take on what's happening. Because bro, it's strange, man. And I watched a little bit. I watched a lot of it yesterday. I had some responsibilities today that prevented me from being able to catch what was going on today, but I'm sure it was the same stuff as yesterday. And I saw a lot of nonsense, to be honest with you. But what was your take in regards to what's going on?
Man, my takes, it just from watching it, it all feels staged at some degree. You know, the type of communication is not the one that you would expect. I mean, it feels like it's more of okay, this is going to be like this, and they're using Zuckerberg as just an actor on that particular breach just to represent his company, right? But I mean, what's really happening behind the scenes goes even deeper than that, because a lot of people don't really understand what that data breach is, or what these people from Cambridge Analytica really are doing with our data. They don't measure what that really is, because people are not really talking about it on Facebook. Like, you can only see the court, and they anticipated that it's going to go out to the news, and they anticipated a video that they're going to show to the masses, so the people just get circulating about that video, and that's it. You know, he says that he claims he feels guilty, has his responsibility, but still Facebook connects people, and we're trying to make it in the good way, and we're trying to make this platform good for both ends, and we're trying to connect you with people that are going to meet your expectations and such, and we're going to connect you with the good, and just washing things. And people are going to keep using that. You know, they're not
100.
They're not gonna stop because of a data breach. I mean, they don't even understand what that is. I mean, they don't really understand. That's my take on it. It's just covering things, but You're not really.
Yeah,
It's like putting a
bro.
band-aid on it, right? It's just a
That's right.
band-aid. You're not healing the wound. You know, you're not really looking at the real purpose.
That's right. And bro, that's exactly what I was thinking, man. And you hit the nail on the head in regards to how I was thinking as well. Because what is going on here, it like you said, it seems like it's staged. It seems like the questions that were being asked of him in a way were tailored in a specific manner. And even when Mark Zuckerberg couldn't deliver, actually he couldn't deliver on hardly any of the questions he was asked. He diverted every single question. He literally sidelined every single question. He worked around them and gave information on what what Facebook should be doing, and what they will be doing, but they never really attacked and answered any of the things that were being thrown at them, and they diverted the real issue, and that was the massive data breach, one of the biggest data breaches of all times. This is a scandal. This is one of the biggest data scandals of all time in our reality, in this particular timeline continuum. This is one of the most outrageous, biggest scandals of all time, and we're seeing this on the news, a congressional hearing, and it's like nothing. It's like a joke. It seems like it's just friends speaking. And people don't realize more than 70% of the people asking him these types of questions, the news says that they're grilling him. They weren't grilling him. More than 70% of the ones asking him these questions are his clients. And they don't even really know what they're asking. And what they were really, the whole narrative that I saw was a narrative in regards to them trying to figure out how to keep an open dialogue and speech between conservatives and between the left and the right, between Republican and Democrat, the same type of arguments and bickering that go on all the time. They want to keep that type of communication and flow open. They didn't really address anything in regards to ones that are sharing real news. They didn't address that. That's all diverted as well. They didn't address anything of seriousness. They just kept it on government stuff pretty much, and things that they didn't really even know what they're talking about. Now, what is happening, and this goes into bigger things, because the mainstream news for the past year has been literally bombarding us non-stop. You don't even have to watch the news to have this particular type of a mindset that the collective consciousness has seemed to adopt based upon the type of media and news that has been bombarded to us. Remember, we're marketed specifically, and we're marketed in a specific way. We're marketed individually, we're marketed down to demographic groups, location, and everything in regards to political opinion. Now, this is what it starts getting into, is because we've been bombarded that the reason why Donald Trump is in office as president is because Russia had their hand in hacking the polling system so that Trump could get in. This is what we've been bombarded with. This is what the collective consciousness has seemed to adopt in their mindset. Now, what has happened, and Rap, you already know me, I've been saying that this has been false from the start.
Yes.
And anybody in the know already knows that this is false. Putin's been speaking about this being false, but at the end of the day, nobody cares what Putin says. Nobody cares because the mainstream media is portraying him in a different manner. Now, what has happened is it came out with indisputable proof that Cambridge Analytica out of the UK is a company that has acquired all of everyone's data. And with that data, what they do is they specifically sway political opinion and market in particular ways based upon the information that's acquired to be able to put Trump into office. This is not anything new. They did this in the last elections with putting Obama in. You feel me? But nobody cared about that. What they care about, though, is Trump is in office. The reason why they care about that is because there are other interests trying to get him out. There's a person out here, George Soros, who spends millions and millions of dollars daily to counteract and to take political views and opinions to demonize Trump. Now, I'm not saying Trump is a great or anything special. I'm not saying none of that. I actually don't care about politics. I despise politics. But it's kind of hard to live our lives and and live freely when we're literally at the brink of war, and it's all because of these politics. You feel me? Now, what happens is it's come out that Cambridge Analytica is the company, and they've been on the shadows. You know what I'm saying? Most people still, with this coming out and being mainstream and these congressional hearings going on, people still don't even understand or even know what Cambridge Analytica is. You can ask most people out here in the streets, you can ask them, hey, have an intelligent conversation about Cambridge Analytica, and you mention that name, and they don't even know what it is. But this company is using our data, and there's other companies. There's massive amounts of companies that are using our data in ways that we can't even imagine. All of our data. And this goes down to not just your email address, your name, and maybe a phone number. No, this goes into everything. This goes into your locations. This goes into everywhere that you go. This goes into anything that you connect your Bluetooth to. You connect your devices to your car. You start connecting all of your things. Everything is tracked. Everything is tracked down to these companies knowing the square footage of your house. It comes down to them knowing what's inside of your house. It goes into them knowing your very, very every move. Now, not only have they compiled all of this data, but it's not human beings that are creating these composites of our data and using them. It's artificial intelligences.
That's right.
You feel me?
Yes.
Now it gets pretty shocking and scary to understand what's going on. There are predictive, analytical, algorithmic, artificial intelligence systems that literally predict the future. This is what their main goal is to predict the future and predict the movements of every single person, predict how to move people in certain ways. And it's getting to, and they're even talking about it in the hearings as well. These AI systems are getting to the point to where they are predicting if somebody is going to be harmful or not, harmful to the community of Facebook or of these social media platforms, or if they are harmful in society in the third dimension. This is predictive analytics. And this goes into like the movie like Minority Report and things like that, where you then start getting into thought policing. And that's a very, very shocking thing. Now, most people can't even fathom a computer system being able to do this. And I like to always go back to the computer system Deep Blue, who smashed the world's best chess player, and the world's best chess player can't even make a move, which means is thousands and thousands of times ahead of competitively solving algorithmic equations, which means that it's doing what? It's predicting the future. And then it doesn't stop there, because then it creates its own opponents who rival itself in every way. And then they continue to duplicate themselves indefinitely while they're just expanding in algorithmic processing. That's called predicting the future. You know what I'm saying? And they have these types of AI bots, not to mention the thousands of other types of AI bots that continue to just grow in algorithmic processes and begin to composite their own realities and forecasts, so that they can then tailor in our information and literally predict our every movement. That's a shocking and scary thing. These things are going on as we speak. We've been sold out. We've all been sold out. All of your information has gone to the highest bidders, has gone to the intelligence agencies, have gone to marketing agencies that sway political opinion and sway how we live life. It's a shocking thing. And this is some of the things, or some of the reasons why there's this hearing, is because it's gaining enough momentum of attention that they had to have these hearings. However, these hearings that are going on, it just seems like it's just a pacifier. It's something to pacify us, to be like, hey, we're doing it. We're addressing this issue. But it's been sidetracked. They're sidelined, and they're going around the main issues. And it looks like nothing's really being done. There's no resolution to what's happening. It doesn't seem like they really hammered the fact of how impactful what is happening is going down. They didn't touch on any of that type of stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just a pacifier, pacifying the majority of people to make it look like they're actually trying to do something as they go ahead and continue to further along their agenda. Now, it's a wild thing. They were talking about hiring more people to do what? To censor more information. And what's the information that they're censoring? They're censoring cats like you and me, speaking regular conversation and speaking in a way that sometimes may go against the mainstream narrative, because to be quite honest with you, that mainstream narrative a lot of the times is giving us fake information. They're giving the information that they're giving us is false.
That's right.
So it's a wild thing. And Cambridge Analytica is out here using our information in ways that most people can't even fathom and understand, and they're swaying political opinion. So as the mainstream media is out here bombarding us with information that Russia has had with hacking the systems that put Trump in, only does what? Causes animosity, causes literally in the minds of the collective, causes the collective that literally hate Russia. You know what I'm saying? If Putin speaks, people hate Putin, and they give us these lies that Russia had their hands in the hacking of the polls. Now we find out that it was Cambridge Analytica. Now, so from what I was observing, I observed Mark Zuckerberg acting strange, acting funny. If you take a look at social media, I mean, he right now is everybody's calling him robotic, alien, reptilian. They're giving all the terms, but hey, all that I know is I saw it the way that he was acting, and it's the same way that he acts all the time. It seems odd. It's strange. He doesn't really answer questions straight up or anything like that. And it seemed strange that the ones that were hashtag or quote unquote grilling him, when they were receiving answers that they didn't really like, it seemed like they would just tailor his deviate and put words into his mouth to answer the questions that they were asking, just so that they can further move along the particular agenda. It was wild.
Bro, it's like you can see, like, he has, like, you feel like he's got some sort of transmitter hidden somewhere here, and he's just, waiting to get a reply to then say something when they ask him a question. Something like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. He definitely has some sort of a PR team behind him. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of shady things went down. You know what I'm saying? About 2 weeks ago when Facebook stocks dropped, they dropped 50 billion, and that's with a B. 50 billion overnight. A week before that, what was he doing? He sold a majority of his shares. Like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? He sold a majority of his shares because he knew what was going down. He knew it was going to plummet because of the information that came out from Cambridge Analytica. Not to mention, Cambridge Analytica is paired with what or who? Palantir Technologies. And if anybody is watching this and you want to actually find out some crazy stuff, find out about Palantir Technologies and how that is literally a technology that goes deeper than the data mining, goes deeper than Facebook, Instagram, and all of that in regards to the information that is pulling in regards to us. It's shocking, and it ties right into artificial intelligences and what they're doing with our information. It is a wild and horrible thing. Now,
Wow.
yeah, it gets deep. Now, it goes even deeper because now we are literally at the brink of World War III. And that, bro, is huge. We're literally at the brink of World War III, and most people don't even care, and most people don't even know. Now, as we're watching the hearings go on with Facebook, that's captivating the attention of maybe the techies and cats of our generation and some older ones. Most of the older ones don't even really know what's going on, don't even understand some of the lingo that's being said. We're out here, Raph, me and you've been talking about artificial intelligences for years. You know what I'm saying? And if people were to hear the way that we talk, they would think that we were absolutely nuts.
That's right.
I think it is cool that during these hearings, they are and have been throwing around the words of artificial intelligence and throwing around algorithms and talking about those things. So I do appreciate the fact that that type of information is being thrown around because now more mainstream or the collective is now starting to hear some of those words and terminologies. Now it is starting to become common talk. So that's a good thing because, for the past few years, we talk like this and people, algorithms, what? Artificial intelligences? It's almost like people just start scoffing and being like, what type of science fiction movies are you talking about? Well, guess what? It's here. It's out. It's starting to become mainstream. Artificial intelligences are the backbone and are running everything.
That's right.
Literally running everything. They're running things to the point where it's out of our control. They make their own decisions. And if anybody was watching these hearings, they even talk about it, how these artificial intelligences now make their own decisions. And the decisions that they make are decisions that are not even programmed to make. You know what I'm saying? They make decisions on their own.
Yep.
On their own. They make their own decisions now. That they don't like it, or if they want to do something else, they do it. And the ramifications are huge. Now, we don't have control over some of these particular artificial intelligences in the way that they evolve, in the way that they make their decisions. We're just now playing damage control. Now, what is going on, though, is very shocking because we are literally at the point of World War III. And like I said, most people can care less. So much attention's being diverted other places. But, bro, let's just go ahead and touch on that real quick because I'm sure you're pretty interested to know some of these movements.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead, and it ties into the whole Trump and Putin thing and everything like that. But let's go into this. Last year, when Trump took office, well, actually, let's back up a little bit. Trump was very, very vocal on Twitter in regards to not intervening with Syria when Obama was in office. If anybody remembers, Trump was hammering, going nuts on his Twitter feed in regards to if we get involved with Syria, it will be World War III. Stay out of Syria. There's no reason for us to get involved with Syria. He was very, very adamant about that. Now, what do you know? Trump even said before when he was, a candidate running, he even said he is not going to get involved with Syria. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to. Well, what do you know? When he became president, what did we do? We shot 59 missiles at Syria, killing massive amounts of innocents. Massive amounts of innocents. And why did we do that? Is because we bombed Syria under the false pretenses that Syria, or let's say President Assad, the president of Syria, was chemically attacking his own citizens. Now, that's a horrible thing if that was to be true.
Right.
But it wasn't true. And it's come out. Facts that it was false. It was not true. There is no evidence whatsoever that Assad was chemically attacking his own people. Now, this goes into the same type of war mind that the U.S. has been using. This is the same thing that happened with Iraq. Remember, we said, we need to go into Iraq and and overthrow everything because they've got weapons of mass destruction. We go in there, we destabilize Iraq, we kill Saddam Hussein under the pretenses that they have weapons of mass destruction. And then guess what? It comes out that there's no weapons of mass destruction. Oh, well, we did our thing unjustifiably. Oh, well, no ramifications, no negative backlash about it, nothing. We literally ran in there like bullies over nothing. Well, guess what? We did the same thing last year to Syria. Now, for quite some time, for years, Syria's been battling, and Assad's been battling ISIS and rebel forces trying to destabilize the country. Now, these rebel forces are literally funded and backed by the CIA and backed by the Mossad. We install that, we fund them, we put them in there to destabilize because we want to overthrow Syria, and the main goal is we want to get into Iran. We want to get, understand. And when I say we, it's not we, I should say
U.S.
the U.S. and the war cabinet. They want to get in, and Saudi Arabia, they want to get into Iran so that they can get this oil again, because one of the largest oil reserves is in Iran, and they want this oil back, this cheap oil. You feel me? So what is happening is now, last week, Donald Trump announced, which Donald Trump said that he does not telegraph, and he telegraphed. He said that we were going to pull U.S. troops out of Syria. Then 3 days later, what do you know? There's a chemical attack on the citizens of Syria. It's all over the news. It's all over the media, and what the U.S. is saying and Trump is saying, and what the mainstream narrative is that Assad once again is chemically attacking his own people, which is insane. They've been Russia and Syria. They've been fighting off ISIS troops for years, trying to finally get good, and they've literally almost have this taken care of. They literally almost have this whole situation taken care of. And then now there's rebel forces, which Assad's been out saying it, Russia's been saying it as well, that this is false flags. Now, I also have a few videos as well of the false flags, which I'll send to you as well, which is wild. These are false flags, staged and false flag attacks that are going on in Syria from rebel forces. They're staged, they're fake. Just the same way in the US that we see these false flags and everybody eats them up and thinks that they are real. And it doesn't matter what type of proof is thrown in front of people. The cognitive dissonance is so high that they can't even see it. Now, with that being said, under the pretenses that Assad is chemically attacking his own people, Israel went ahead and bombed Syria. Not only did they bomb Syria, but they also killed Iranian soldiers in the process. This is infuriating to Iran, obviously. Now, the U.S. has been trying to get into Iran for a long time now. They want to overthrow Iran once again. On Monday, John Bolton, war-hungry old Bush cat, you feel me? He is one of the ones who had orchestrated the Iraq war, orchestrated that. He's been in Trump's ear to go ahead and get into Iran once again. Well, guess what? He just got back into the war cabinet, and Monday was his first day.
Oh,
now,
nice.
Bro, it gets insane because what happens is Israel attacks Syria, and then the U.S. is coming out saying that it's a horrible thing, and we don't stand for what's going on with Assad chemically attacking his own people, which is false. It's fake. That never happened. Bro, everybody knows it. Everybody's saying it, and the U.S. does not care. They're pushing along full steam ahead, literally calling for war. We got Trump out here stating that we've got 20 locations already sought out, ready to bomb. And bro, this can happen at any moment. Trump is literally saying within the next 24 to 48 hours, decisions are going to be made to bomb Syria. And if that was to happen or is to happen, Russia has the backing of Syria 100%. And Russia is making it very known that if the U.S. attacks Syria, bombs Syria, then Russia is in and is going ham. Now, if Russia is in with Syria, that means that Saudi Arabia is in with the U.S. That starts polling in everybody because
Wow.
everyone's drawing their alliances now. All one needs to do is just start taking a look at what's happening. Everybody's claiming their alliances now. And everybody's saying it's a domino effect. If this happens, everyone's taking their sides. And bro, this is what you call a world war. This is beyond a Cold War. This is at the literal brink. The domino pieces are set, and we're now literally waiting for what's about to happen, and it can happen at any minute. We're talking right now, and it can happen right now. If we attack Syria, it's game over, bro. That's World War III. It's bringing in all of the powers, and bro, it's happening. They're saying it's imminent, and Trump and John Bolton and Trump's war cabinet, which is all of the old team, which is Bush's old war team, is all back with unfinished missions and war agenda on their mind. Yo,
Wow.
they want it. Trump wants it. They want this oil. They're trying. The Zionist movement is at an all-time high, and the whole time, our information is being sold to foreign interests and to the highest bidders. This world, we are at a brink of a total meltdown, which is a wild thing.
Wow.
Uh,
This is scary
crazy.
stuff. It's scary
It's
stuff.
scary.
It can
It's-
happen at
it's
any
beyond.
moment right now.
Yeah, any moment. All you need to do is just the pieces are being set up, the dialogue's being spoken, the literal bombs are being placed, soldiers and missile carriers are being moved as we speak. As we speak, the pieces are being moved. Now it's just, are we gonna be the bully? And are we gonna be the bully over what? Over the false pretenses that Assad, the president of Syria, is chemically attacking his own people, which is false.
Wow.
What are we gonna do, Raph?
Bro, just pray for the best, man. Hopefully nothing happens. But
Yeah.
it seems that they don't even care because they're claiming that they're using chemical weapons when they're not. And they believe it's true. So they're just going to use as an excuse to do what they want to do for something, for a reason, though.
For sure. Now, Raph, I have a prediction. I've been thinking about this. A few events are kind of piecing up here. We had the YouTube shooting. We talked about it in our last podcast.
Yes.
That YouTube shooting, which, think about this. Nobody's talking about that. Mainstream has completely ditched it. You know what I'm saying? Most people have forgotten.
They forgot
we live
it,
in a time, they forgot. We live in a time now where big, huge news will happen, and it's literally forgotten about the next day. Most of the time, though, this big time news, we've already been seeing it. It's false flags. It's staged. It's crisis actors. Anybody who speaks about these things are getting censored. It's a wild thing. This information's not getting out. They're burying this type of information in the backs of the algorithms, or they'll just even shut down whole accounts. They'll strike accounts. They'll censor accounts. It's a wild thing. But remember this dialogue. The dialogue that they were using was that she was female and that she was Iranian. Now, this is a psyop. What they're going to start doing is, remember, for the past year, massive tensions have been with who? North Korea. Now, we just saw a few days ago, North Korea is almost looking like they're taking a stand down. They're talking negotiations. Things have been quiet with North Korea. There's a reason for that, because North Korea is no longer the puppet to have us be in fear. The new puppet to have us be in fear is going to be Iran. Because like I said, the mission, John Bolton's mission, the mission of the Zionists, the mission of the House of Assad, the mission is to destabilize Iran and get this oil once again. You feel me? So they're going to start using the psyop, the psychological warfare, to then start implanting our minds into thinking and fearing and hating Iran. Now, what we're going to see, because, bro, as we keep on literally bullying Syria, and also, you know, Iranian troops have been slaughtered as well. As we continue to do this, Syria or Iran is going to also come to the aid of Syria. The U.S. has been looking for a justifiable means to get into Iran. So what they're going to do is they're going to create, provoking. So they're going to provoke Iran. They're going to provoke them. They're going to create the tensions in our minds as a collective to be against Iran. Now, what they're going to do, I'm predicting now. What's the date today? You said that it was April 11th, so it's April 11th. This is 2018. I am predicting that coming up soon, we probably, or we may, and like I said, this is just a prediction, but we may start receiving communication through the PSYOP, through the mainstream media news outlets, and through Zuckerberg's most ridiculous means of marketing and advertising news and everything to us, because it's all one-sided. We're going to start seeing talks of Iran and nuclear weapon threat. You feel me? They're going to start talking Iran has nuclear weapons, which they don't. You feel me? Now, they're going to start giving this type of dialogue so that they are going to be the new ones that we fear, and they're going to be the new ones that we, as a collective consciousness, are going to move our energy to say, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and attack them. So that when they do, when Iran does get attacked unjustifiably, they can morally think that it's okay.
And people will cheer that, and they will be proud of it when everything is just a complete hypnotic brainwash.
100%. Bro, it's a disgusting thing that's going on right now.
It's nasty, dude. It's nasty. It's way beyond humane. You know, it's for the oil.
Yeah, and it's inhumane. And you know, we sit here in, you know, the United States, and we live cushy lives. You know what I'm saying? We ate multiple times today. We're speaking in front of multiple mediums. I've got a computer in front of me, an iPhone in front of me, an iPad in front of me. We've got homes. You know what I'm saying? We got all the toys. We're living lavish. And even if you know, people out here who don't have jobs and everything like that, they're still eating, they're still having their toys, they still have an iPhone. Yo, we are the 1%, because what people don't realize is you get outside of this country and you start looking at other places, which they don't tell us about. They keep us blocked off from this. You start looking at other places and people are in poverty, and they don't even have clean drinking water.
Bro, they don't even have sewage. You know, no sewage system. They don't even have drinking water. They don't have access to medicine. They don't have access to anything. They don't have access to, bro, they have to walk kilometers to get some food. They have to walk miles to go to school.
Children starving and dying by the masses. You've got Israel slaughtering Palestinians by the masses. Unjustifiably. It's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? So we're out here, and the news, and this is what they were saying in the congressional hearings as well, is that the majority of people, they get their news from Facebook. They get their news from social media outlets.
Yeah.
And those social media outlets are curating the news to us. They're
100%.
curating specific agendas. And that is something that we fail to realize is something that they touch on, but that kept on being diverted. They kept on going around those particular subjects. And that is a very, very shocking thing, is the reality as we see it, the reality that we think that we're living is being curated to us. We have no idea what's really going on in the outside world because we're living in the Facebook world. We're living in one particular narrative, and that narrative, if you even dare to question it, you get shut down.
That's right.
If you dare to question it, you get labeled a conspiracy theorist. If you dare to question it, you get labeled a terrorist. If you dare to question it, you are on the out. You feel me? They make it so that you're scared to even talk opposing to the things that are not even true. Now, this puts us into a time that, bro, this is an all-out psychological warfare. We're looking at a physical war. There already has been massive amounts of deaths. Just a few months ago, just in the month of March, over 3,000 children slaughtered in Syria. We don't hear about that stuff, nor does anybody even care. That's the shocking thing. So I asked you, Raf, what can we do? Bro, I look at this and, all that we can do, and the thing that will solve all of this, and I still maintain an outlook of belief and in positivity that we can turn this around. And how can we do that? Bro, it requires us as a collective to seriously link arms, to love one another, really, to love one another, to be positive with one another, to stop the bickering amongst one another, and this fake news that we're getting bombarded with. If we know the truth, we need to speak up. We need to share information. We need to share information to others, and we need to collectivize and start, rising up and speaking to Congress and showing that we know what's going on and demand some changes and some things not to be done in the way that they're doing. Some of these tech giants, Facebook and Google and all of that, they are so large that it's almost like they're too big to fail. But you know what? We have a voice, and our voice is being heard. Our voice is being heard so much that they're shutting us down. They're censoring us. They're taking away our First Amendment rights. They're taking away our Second Amendment rights as well. Because what happens when you take away those rights? Now we're defenseless. And if there is to be a war, which it's looking like it's imminent, we are sitting in a very, very bad position. Why? Because we have so many gun-free zones in the United States. And where do most of the attacks happen? In gun-free zones. Now, we have gun-free zones everywhere. We've got laws being passed as we speak, and gun grabbings as we speak to take away the Second Amendment. Now, if World War III happens, think about this. Then you've got cats from the Middle East that have been being swarmed into the country. We hear all this news about borders, closing the borders, having the borders open. Everyone's feuding and debating in regards to what we should do about the borders, we should let in or anything like that. Well, for the past few years, what have we been doing? We've been letting ones of the other countries from the Middle East, which I'm not saying Middle Easterns are bad. No, I love everybody. However, we've been bringing in radical Middle Eastern groups into this country. They're called sleeper cells because they've been chilling. They've been opening up shop. They've been hanging. They've been disguising themselves amongst us, surviving. Now, think about this. With these tensions so high and a war looming, and let's say it does go down, then you've got these sleeper cells that wake up and then start attacking us from the inside.
It's like a planted
we're
tree.
defenseless.
It's like a seed they plant. Yep.
That's
That's
it.
right.
This is what this is what the plan is. This is destabilization. And think about this. What happens when war is created? There is massive destabilization, there's massive chaos, there's massive destruction, there's massive deaths. And then after all of that, then you can come in and do what? Rebuild. And then you can rebuild off of a new system, which this is what they're planning for. The Zionist movement, the Zionist regime, the agenda, destabilize, then usher in what they can literally destroy cities, kill lives, and then usher in new cities, smart cities that can be built very fast because we have 3D smart printers and artificial intelligence systems that can build things faster than when we start talking about it. It sounds like a science fiction movie. A 3D printer can build a house in less than 24 hours that's stronger than any house that man could build. You feel me? They're doing it in China right now as we speak. So you destroy infrastructure, you destroy it, cause the chaos, then you come in, build new smart cities, new infrastructure, you then usher in new currency. We've got digital currency. We work off of a one world currency, bring in a one world government, bring in a one unified military, a worldwide military, which are the plans. And how do you do it? How do you have that happen? You have to have war first. And bro, we are here.
We're part of the process.
We're a part of the process. So, bro, we need to love one another. We need to share truths. I love being able to speak with you, Raph, and dive deep. And hopefully, I really feel that, cats will stumble upon this content. The ones that need to hear it will hear it. Cats that don't, whatever, they won't hear it. At the end of the day, there's massive amounts of bots out here. There's massive amounts of agents out here. We're getting to a point now that you got to stick tight with the cats who you know and everything like that, and the ones that are sharing information and truths, because everybody else out here are starting to become agents, become zombified, become so hypnotized to the agenda and the movement that, bro, they'll backstab and kill us at any moment. And that's facts.
That's true, bro. That's true. It's 100%. And it's weird. It's just we just, like you said, we have to hold each other and love each other and just speak out and share with others the knowledge so they're ready. They're not just unprepared for this. People have to prepare and just take their measurements and just be aware of the situation and understanding what's happening, how to survive on that.
That's right, for sure. Well, with that being said, Raph, we dove deep. If anybody listens to this, they may be mind blown. If anybody listens to this, they also may be like, yo, what are these cats talking about? But all that I say is, hey, keep your eyes open to the truth. There's a lot of misinformation out here. Lots. It's heavy. And we will be out here. The Coin Cult will provide news in regards to what's going on in the cryptoverse. It's definitely going to be an interesting thing to see the next developments here within the next few months in the cryptoverse. 5G is about to be rolled out, and when 5G is rolled out, this is where the cryptoverse starts to thrive, because the infrastructure that all of these companies are building, they are going to live on those frequency bandwidths. This is something that is horrible in itself, the bandwidths that we're going to, and that's something that I think maybe next show we should talk about. Is maybe we'll talk about 5G, we'll talk about artificial intelligences, and let's do that. Let's talk about
that next episode. 5G
let's
framework.
talk about what 5G is. Let's talk about what the framework is, and let's talk about the health hazards in regards to 5G, and let's talk a little bit about artificial intelligence as well. And if anybody has any suggestions in regards to some content that you would like to hear us speak about, go ahead and leave some comments below. We would love to hear it. If you guys like this, go ahead and give a like, or just holler at us. And other than that, man, I love diving deep with you, Raph. Once again, you are the crypto guru, brother.
Likewise, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Always some data mining, this experience is every time I talk to you, we're just solving algorithms, and hopefully the people who are watching us are mining with us and tuning into the same frequency, so we all solve the blocks and we all get prepared. The more blocks you have, the more blocks you mine, the more
That's
blocks
right.
you have, the well prepared, the better prepared you are. That's about it.
That's right. And the expansion of IQ, brother.
That's
And
it.
and that's all that we're trying to do is we're trying to have organic conversation, raise our frequencies, raise our vibrations, expand our consciousness, try to survive in this world. And we're trying to do it, the right way, and that's spreading love, light, and truth. And we love everybody, and we just want to thrive as humans in this world as the literal artificial intelligence takeover is going down, and wars being orchestrated as we speak. So we're out here just trying to sift through the madness, sift through the dark occult systems that are being built, and we're just trying to live, and preserve humanity while we still can.
Lighting up that light in the darkness. That's what we're trying to do.
That's right. That's right, brother. All right, brother.
All right,
man. It was
man.
a pleasure. That was Coin Cult. Thank you for everybody who is going to tune in and listen to this. And let's hit it again in a few days, brother.
Let's do it, bro. Thanks so much. Maximum appreciation and respect. Have a great night, everyone. Coin Cult logging out.
All right.